In this video, I'm going to go through how you can get started with a new KVB project within the KAS IDE development software. So that means you want to use a KVB or AKI HMI panel with a PDMM or a PCMM controller. So even though KVB or Kollmorgen Visualization Builder is a separate piece of software than the KAS IDE, we have done work to implement the two together. We have some hooks so that they will interact together and that you can save both projects within one file on your PC. I'm going to go through the benefits of this. The main ones being that it is very easy to set up the modbus tags to share. So your tags are variables between the KAS IDE project, where you do your PLC motion control programming for the PDMM or PCMM controller, and the screens that you develop in KVB for the AKI HMI panels. I'm starting out with a built-in template program, the 2-axis PLC Open project done in Ladder Logic. You'll see in the Project Explorer we do include a default KVB project, which you can launch by simply double-clicking on it. It will ask, do you want to open the Kollmorgen Visualization Builder project? Yes. So you can see that the KVB, Kollmorgen Visualization Builder, is a separate piece of software on your computer, but you can launch it from within the KAS IDE. And what are the main benefits? I'll go over while it's loading. Well, it will automatically import both tags, and that means the list of variables that you want to share over Modbus, as well as automatically giving them addresses. And this is a big time saver. You don't have to worry about manually editing them on the KAS IDE side and on the KVB side, and then because it will automatically import, you don't have to worry about having them mismatched, and you know that the communication will work over Modbus. Also, it will automatically import the controller IP address. If I click over the controller tab just to show you where this is set. So this IP address, this is where the HMI, which is the Modbus master, is trying to communicate with a Modbus slave device, which in this case will be the PCMM or PDMM controller. So 192.168.0.101, that's one of the built-in static IPs for our controllers. And if I did change it here, you can right-click the controller section of the Project Explorer in the KAS IDE software, hit Properties. This is where you would change that. And if I did change it here, next time I compiled and opened up my KVB project, it would import the new IP address. Also note this screen is where there is a Modbus configuration radio buttons. The default is for KVB panel. We do offer support for other Modbus devices. We have another video that shows how to do this. Then you would use the field bus editor to manually set up Modbus addresses for variables. This is very useful for using a third-party HMI. But if you're going to use the Kollmorgen HMI panels that are developed with the KVB software, you'll typically just use a default KVB panel Modbus configuration. You can also set up the cycle time, and this is just once again at the controller or the slave device. So you may want to move that to a slightly faster to allow it to communicate or service Modbus requests a little faster. And if you don't want to use the built-in project, which you're welcome to use it, edit it, make changes, you can also totally start from scratch. And how to do that is you can right-click the system level of the KAS IDE Project Explorer, and there is the option Add HMI Device. And this will bring up a list of all the HMI panels we offer, even legacy models, and the minimum KVB version that you need in order to program those panels. So I'm just going to pick the AKI 2G CDA 7-inch screen. I believe that's our most popular model. And then a new section gets added to the Project Explorer. And so this is instead of the built-in template program, which was still in the Project Explorer, this is just a totally blank project. Also, from here you can either import a project if you have one that you had written from a previously done project, and it's easier for you to start with that, or you can export from the Project Explorer for a similar reason. If you have already done a whole machine and you're going to program a similar one, you can, instead of starting from scratch, export and import the one you've already done. And then just going to the dictionary, you may wonder, well, how do you know which variables are shared? Is it all of them? No, it's not all of them, and it wouldn't be as fast if we by default shared all variables over modbus. So there is, if you go to the dictionary and you're doing a KVB panel, you will see in the dictionary there is a column entitled KVB, and there's just check boxes. So every variable that I click will automatically be given a modbus address and be imported in KVB when I launch it. And you are not limited. You can also do local variables as well. So here there is engage gearing. It's a Boolean local variable. Just I'll show you how that shows up in the KVB side. I can also add a couple others. Maybe I want to know if they're at velocity or if they're done accelerating. So every time you compile, behind the scenes, there's just all these variables that are checked are given modbus addresses. And then, like I said, whenever you launch a KVB project, that list is automatically imported. So if you do want to add or remove variables, you would have to temporarily close KVB and then relaunch it. Also, some of the template programs are from older versions. So if you are using the latest version of KVB, you may have to do a one-time project conversion. But once again, this is very quick, and you only have to do it once. Next time I save my project, I won't have to go through this. So now here I just have my blank default screen, but the project isn't totally empty. If I go to tags, show you that yes, it did automatically import all those variables, including if I go to here, these were different local variables. So just to show you that local variables can be imported, and they will show up. They automatically add the name of the local program and then a couple underscores. So the variable in the KAS IDE was engage gearing and engage camming, but they were local to the main program and the cam program. Also note that when I do a finish here, I save my project. Also, every time you compile or simulate your project, it will do a save. I can close KVB, and then when I do a file save in the KAS IDE, everything saves on your hard drive as a .ks project that will contain not only everything that you develop in the KAS IDE, but also the attached KVB projects. That's very nice when you're working on a machine. You have one file that contains all your HMI screens and your PLC motion control code, as well as the EtherCAT setup and any cam profiles, things like that. So for revisions control, saving a project, it's nice that you don't have multiple projects floating around. Everything saves to one file. Also note that if you had the option to download project source to the controller, so this is every time you download a project to a PDMM or PCMM controller, it not only downloads the compiled code, but it downloads the source code. That is this whole .ks project, so it would back up not only the KAS IDE PLC motion control code, but also the attached KVB project. So that is also very nice that if you're done with the machine and you downloaded the source code, it's got the HMI screens and the PLC code, so that 6 months, 6 years down the line, if something goes wrong with the machine, you need to troubleshoot, or if you want to make some changes, add some new features, the source code for both the PLC motion controller and the HMI screens will be backed up to the controller. Thank you for watching this video introducing how to start a new project with the Kollmorgen Visualization Builder that you launch within the KAS IDE development environment. Come back and we will have other videos showing other features specific to the KVB development environment.